Okay, from scratch. Good morning, everybody. I'm Enrico from Axel Technology, and I'm together with Claudio, also from Axel Technology. Claudio is our radio specialist. I'm from the sales department, and today we will tell you about Ram-Comm, our software designed to manage the scheduling of commercials, management of contracts, and let's say to control the commercial workflow in radio and TV. So Ram-Comm is a software designed for both media, radio, TV. Today Claudio will give us a general overview of the product, explaining the interaction with the playout and the other software involved in the radio workflow. We will have a look at the software interface, the features. So during the presentation, feel free to send us and write us on the chat. So we will be also pleased to answer at your questions. So Claudio.
Thank you. Thank you, Enrico.
Go on.
Thank you so much. Hello from Claudio. Hope you are all well around the world. This is the first thing we would like to say from here.
Yep.
Hope you are all well. We are well here, and glad to share some time with you with our products, with our ideas, with our software. First of all, let me tell you that Ram-Comm is part of the radio suite as well. We have also Ram-Comm for TV, as Enrico said, but talking about radio, Ram-Comm is within the radio suite. What is the radio suite of Axel Technology? You see here, or probably we'll have Gianluca showing now, Ram-Comm is part of a suite including other products. We have DJ Pro, we have VJ Pro, the visual radio, then we have DigiWare, and then Ram-Comm. We addition then Social Hub, that is a very nice social feature. DJ Pro is something we already know something about. We had the webinar last week, and I hope you enjoyed it, by the way, and I hope you were there. VJ Pro is our visual radio solution, and DigiWare is the scheduling software for music and for audio elements. Today we will look into Ram-Comm, which is a part of the suite that is not really only a scheduling software for traffic, for advertising. No, it's much more. It's a business software. So it's something that management and marketing and sales departments love. What does Ram-Comm? Now we can go into Ram-Comm, checking a little bit about the software. Here we are. Let us start from the menu of Ram-Comm, just to show you which are the parts involved. We have a library, which is, of course, where, for example, you insert contracts, where you insert orders, where you insert a new company, and you have all the databases. We have then the schedule, and here you see the screen of the scheduler. Then you have a media check. That means you have a check of the recordings. By the way, it's very simple because Ram-Comm is basically library, schedule, and then a lot of services. These are services. Invoicing is a wonderful service, reports, languages, utility, all these services. Why I'm saying that Ram-Comm is not really just a traffic scheduler, but a business software? Because a lot of our clients here use, and a lot of managers that have Ram-Comm in their radio companies, use Ram-Comm even for outcomes, even for checking revenues to come in the next months, even to check, for example, also the commissions of their agents. So they use Ram-Comm not only to transfer orders for spots, but they do much more. They check how the business is going. This is something we want to underline, because Ram-Comm is really a jewel, not a traffic scheduler again, but a business software that is very helpful. What can we do with Ram-Comm? What can we achieve with Ram-Comm? A lot of activities. Let me check a few ones for you. For example, we can have is the management of the contracts. Normally, this is done by administration. We can have a lot of reports about contracts. And also, we can have accounting. A lot of companies around the world use Ram-Comm for billing, but also for invoicing. And this is something, of course, that allows us to think of Ram-Comm as a business software, not really just a scheduler. We can have then the present and future outcomes, and believe me, it's wonderful for its flexibility because it allows you to manage both a multi-station environment or a single station environment. So it helps you to follow your radio construction that can be based also on splits. Many stations around the world use splits. Ram-Comm is really a master in managing splits. Let us see something within Ram-Comm that you may like or you should know. We have here one area that is relevant, in my opinion, for your understanding and for your perception, that is the area of clients and orders. This is the first part, of course, of the workflow. The first thing that happens in a radio station regarding the business is somebody saying, wow, we have a new contract, we have a new client, we have an order coming from outside. And what happens with the orders? We have on this screen, on the upper part, we have the database of the clients. And on the lower part, we have the single orders. You may call them orders, you may call them contracts. It depends on your organization. Normally, nowadays, just an email for a client is a sufficient order in order to proceed with a schedule. Let me go a little bit inside. This is the very powerful area of the information that you can put into action. And these are data that will then help you to have the best management and to have also the best information on return. You look here, this is the order process. You have, of course, a first area, then you have an area dedicated to agents and amounts. You have installments, you have summaries, you have scheduling, and you even have special agreements. So the information that you can put into action into Ram-Comm is vast. Let us see something about this. You of course have a client, and then you can use a nickname. This is the nickname normally of the name of the campaigns. You may have one client having several campaigns, several orders being used and spent during a year or so. And so you here say, what is the campaign? In this case, is a spot that has the same name of the client. One interesting thing, a very little one, but this is to show you how with Ram-Comm you can follow the details. This is the author. Who is the author? The author is the person who is responsible of the insertion of this particular order. So I should say Claudio, I should write Claudio. So whatever happens, everybody will come to me to ask me what I inserted, what I did. Then we have a lot of information here that can be added to the insertion of the order. For example, of course, the customer, the category. This is relevant because once we insert the product, the good thing about Ram-Comm is that it can separate spots from the same product category. And we have here a very long list for you, and this can be also customized by your client.
Sorry, Claudio, just a second. So we have some questions coming in, and even if we will go through the answer after, the question is, can Ram-Comm work with third-party automation? And the answer is yes, of course. There are some integration that are already part of the software, but it happens quite often that we have to integrate with, let's say, very specific software. So apart from some predefined import and export tools, we are also available to integrate Ram-Comm in existing workflow. most of the time is not only the integration with automation, but it's also the integration with accounting software. So big organization, they normally have their own accounting software, and so Ram-Comm most of the time, to make the workflow most efficient, we develop specific interfaces to integrate Ram-Comm in existing workflows. So, sorry, go ahead.
Nice answer, thank you. Regarding then the orders, we still are in the orders, and one other precious information I think we can manage is the sales zone. You certainly have agents in different areas, and you want to have reports of what's going on in different areas. You have maybe the north, the center, and the south of your country, or of your province, or of your region. And of course, these areas are different commercial markets. And so you want to check how these different commercial markets perform. This is so very, very good. In this case, I don't think we have any in this database, but you can, of course, determine what you want. It's very simple, by the way, determining the fields that you are interested into, because there is a very, and by the way, new powerful setup of Ram-Comm that allows you very, very quickly to look at, for example, on what you are looking. Sorry, these are the holidays. For example, you have sales origin. I'm not finding sales zone right now. I'm sorry for that. Zones, here we are. And you simply here add a zone, and you name it North Italy. And afterwards, once you have North Italy put into your database, you can go back, of course, to our order, and we can have sales origin, sales zone North Italy. So this is good because afterwards you have reports. That's why this is not just a scheduling software, but the more info you get into the order, the best business management you have afterwards. One other important feature I would like to share with you is sale origin, which is another marketing interesting point, because here you say if you have a sale coming, for example, from an agent or somebody who called the radio. I know there are radio stations around the world that receive phone calls by clients. So they have just a secretary or someone at the station just making business over the phone. So you can determine the origin of your sale and have it handled and having managed by reports. And this is, I think, for a good sales manager, this is precious info. He can work daily. We have other issues. We have also contract type, which kind of contract. We have many aspects. But let us go a little bit deeper into business things. An excellent thing is that once you set up an order, normally you have an agent and probably also an agency. You can have also an agency here. Again, we can go back and then set an agency. But normally this means that you have also to pay someone. So if an order is coming from the sales manager, Enrico Vaccari, you should write Enrico Vaccari, and here you have the commission. It's all, of course, in the database of the tables. You set here also the agents you have and the commissions they deserve. There is an advertising agency earning 30%. This is much too high, guys. But then we have Jane Taylor with 15% and John Smith with 20%.
They should be a nice sales company.
Nice sales company. It's interesting working there. I will let you know the address. But the good is that you can insert, of course, these names, the commissions, and then Ram-Comm helps you on all the processes. So when you will have, for example, the client paying, and we will see this in installments, then at that time you can also pay, of course, the commissions. And Ram-Comm follows you also in this crucial part, which is managing the money that is, of course, devoted to the persons working with you, either internal agents, external agents, or agencies. And the two commissions can even be summed. So not one or the other, but you can have more levels of commissions.
Just a little clarification for those that are already running with a previous version of Ram-Comm. Claudio today is showing us a release that has not been released yet. So this is a new version that will be released very, very soon, hopefully within the end of June. And we did a major revision of the organization of the workflow, let me say. So most of the descriptions and let's say one-time settings that are all the settings that you need to do during the installation to configure, as Claudio was saying, your commercial zone, agents, let's say all the main items of your specific data. This part has been redesigned completely. So maybe if you are already running with Ram-Comm, you may see something which is not exactly like the version you are using. So
thank you, Rico. I should have told them before. Sorry for that.
No, I forgot about that.
Then you have here a lot of lines, available lines. Again, we are still in orders. We have just inserted the first data, and now we're talking about money, guys. Yes, money. And here are where our business is going. And here you see, this is, for example, what we have on air, going on air. This is a radio campaign of 35-second spots with a spot price of, I think it's 7,000 per unit. This must be a very rich market. I don't know if these are dollars or yen, but very rich market. This is another information we should pass to the guys. The interesting thing is that you can have, of course, also, you see, premium spots. This depends on your habits. Somebody is preferring giving a discount. So somebody prefers to say, hey client, I'm giving you a 10, I'm honoring you with a 15% discount. Other ones prefer not to change the basic price, but they prefer to give premium spots. That means free spots. And Ram-Comm is capable of handling both these kind of management. So if you have premiums, you can add them here, for example, then you will have a calculation of the real value per spot. Otherwise, you can have just a discount and you can manage all the discounts. Let me show you something that is relevant in radio. We have spot format, okay? Spot format is then, again, you can set all the spots formats you want here. Spot format, okay. In this case, you see you have spots of different duration, just to give an idea of the product that is sold. But you can also manage with extreme power into Ram-Comm all the other commercial elements which are not spots, because we all know that we play spots, but we play billboards. For a sponsorship, for example, just before the weather forecast, for example, or in the lands where this is allowed before the news. We can have also commercial announcements. That means your disc jockey, your host on the air, reading to the audience a specific sponsorship or a specific commercial message. We have into Ram-Comm all the different kinds of spot format, and the extremely interesting thing also for your eye, for your pleasure, for your quick check, is that once you connect colors, a lot of colors into Ram-Comm, then you can also have a visual impact for the information and the colors you matched in the setup. Let us have a quick check, for example, here. I'm afraid in this database we have not so many colors.
Yeah. I think it was most probably the figure with the 7,000 euro. It's because this is just a demo database and no one is earning 7,000 per spot. So.
I'm sorry, Windows, we should go to schedule editor.
So whatever is related to money, mention, spots, sponsors, and so on, can be managed by Ram-Comm.
Yes. And again, I just wanted to show you, and I'd show you where you can set up very easily all the different specs for this. Let us go back to our very relevant order part, which tells us a lot of what the software can do. Here we can close this one. No, I'm sorry. No, I don't want to cancel modification. I want just a quick ask from here. Yes. Okay. Let us go back to our client. And again, we were at agents and amounts. And for example, if you have billboards, if you have commercial announcement, you can have a sub-order line for each issue, for each item. You can have as many as you want and determine the length, the duration. You can determine any criteria on that. So very powerful management of simultaneous options in a specific order. What we can also see, we might want to ask also from here, and yes, and sorry for that. Okay. I'm sorry, I have to ask again for another. We open too much. Okay. Now should be okay. No, not yet. Well, I wanted to show installments. Let us go this way, sorry. The installments is the part where you can manage, for example, the information here. And I don't know why we're not seeing the installments right now.
Maybe
sorry
we have
for
to
that.
unlock it.
Yes, or something wrong with that. Languages, or sorry, windows, orders. I can just describe you to this. Installments means the terms of the payment. We have another question, by the way. And installments means that you describe in that section how the client will pay. This is very relevant, of course, and normally it happens after consumption. So if in one month you have, for example, 100 spots played, then you can automatically get, for example, a summary and even an automatic invoice for the client. But of course, you can describe any term. We have a management in the installments also for example, special agreements. For example, you get means and you give an on-air spot to the client. So it's very flexible.
There are plenty. We have some other questions.
Yes.
The first one is, can we manage different currencies with Ram-Comm? And the answer is yes. Going back to, there's another question, which is what kind of computer you need to manage Ram-Comm? Normally, we install Ram-Comm on, let's say, office computer. So there's no need of powerful computer. Is the same computer, your PC you are using for Excel and Word, and that's it. Because Ram-Comm, it's a software that is mainly, let's say, used as a office application. Going back to the payment terms, let's say I'm from sales department, so most of the time you are obliged to adapt payment to specific customers. And so with Ram-Comm, for example, for big organization, payment terms can be defined according to only certified commercials. So invoice will be released only for those advertisements that went on air and that has been certified. So it means Ram-Comm scheduled the commercial are played by the playout or automation. Automation send back the information, that time and duration of what went on air. And after the reconciliation, which is the process of sending back the information of what went on air to Ram-Comm, only those advertisements that really went on air will be invoiced. Or there are some other agreement, payments per month. So the contract of 1 year contract is split in 12 installments, and the invoice will follow this procedure. So Ram-Comm gives you the flexibility to adapt and to customize payment rules per each customer.
There's another interesting question.
So yeah, the question is, can we give to our external agency access to the solution?
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
We already did this for many ones, I think, Enrico.
Oh yeah. It happened, especially in Italy. We have plenty of small radio stations, and those small radio stations, they do not have their own sales department. So they rely on advertisement collected by agencies, and agency actually they do the complete job. So the agency is running Ram-Comm. They do the scheduling and also for multiple radio stations, because maybe we'll see it later, but actually for Radio 1, Radio 2 and so on, even for big syndications or groups of radio. And so yeah, Ram-Comm can be also used by agencies, and the output of Ram-Comm can be pushed over internet with several technologies, and so the radio just received the complete playlist with commercial breaks, imported automatically into the automation. Of course, with our radio automation, DJ Pro, this is, let's say, seamless. There's really nothing to be done. It's complete automated workflow. And so advertisement will be played on air, and reconciliation will be done at the end of the process.
So I think that external agency is not really a difficult matter for Ram-Comm. We have a lot of experience with a lot of integration. Maybe the clients can provide us the specifics of the company they want to relate to, the file, and our support can check if we already have.
Actually, we have also some, let's say, borderline application which is not strictly related to radio, and it's related to digital signage. So where with Ram-Comm you can schedule a commercial for, let's say, stores in different cities, and commercial schedule are diversified from north to south and so on. So it's really powerful. Now we are just giving you a general overview that fits, let's say, 80% of the common needs, but of course you can contact us for specific workflow or specific application.
I would like now to show you the installments at last. I had a window which was open, which has to be closed before that. So we see now also installments. As you see here, going back to the business, going back to the money, here you can not only describe which are the terms, but you can also have a check of what actually has been paid and what not. And this is, of course, very precious, very relevant, so you can even have the administration check the amounts. By the way, let me tell you, this is not so obvious. In this software, being more than a scheduled software, business software, there is, of course, a lot of vital, precious, but also quite reserved information that is going on. We have, of course, a very strong system of access. I mean, security is relevant. We have users with different level of accesses into the software. So specific numbers can be seen only by the management or by the sales manager. And other issues cannot be seen, for example, by who is just making the traffic or taking part in the workflow in lower, or in any case in different applications. We have also then the opportunity of have summaries that is very easy. So you have an instant check on what's going on with the order, what has been aired, what not, what's missing. This is quite interesting. And then the scheduling at last. This is what was aired. This is a IKEA client, so a very good client. And exactly here we have when the campaign was on, how many spots were programmed, and how many were actually going to the air, on the air. One important thing is certification. Of course, if you use Ram-Comm within our suite, you can have a very, very precise, thanks to DJ Pro, certification. So you need to tell the clients, yes, these spots were on time, they were aired and on time. You can have, of course, the actual time of when the spot was aired. This is, of course, internal certification, but I see a lot of companies that add the invoice with this report about the certification. That means, here we are. You have the invoice and you have the proof that the spots were actually aired. Very, very simple to be done. Of course, we can help you to do this with the DJ Pro very, very easily. We have then another part with special agreements, because radio is, you know, not such a simple business. What is happening nowadays is happening that, for example, we are involved into events. We have been asked to organize a presentation for an opening. An important client of ours has a chain of shops, and there is a big opening, and 4 disc jockeys, 4 hosts are required. All the costs, of course, of this can be monitored and of course and can be checked and even, of course, then invoiced to the clients directly. But special agreements means a lot of things, not only events. Special agreements on digital or special relations with cinemas, with exchange of cross-promotion between cinemas and the radio station, and you can, for example, take note of the costs you have to produce the video clip that your station must show within the cinemas. So it's a very interesting tool. You see, we have completed a check of the order, but this can give you an idea of how many things you can control that are all part of the marketing and sales, I would say, complete workflow within a company.
We have another question, which is nice. The question is how to combine this product with another scheduling, taking care about music and programs, since advertisement is just one part of the daily playlist, of course the main one, from the perspective of the broadcasters, of course. And so how to integrate this with music scheduling or other programs?
Well, Axel Technology has a wonderful suite.
Yeah.
We have DJ Pro, the on-air system. We have the solution for music is named DigiWare.
Yep.
And we have, with just a press of the button here, the schedule of Ram-Comm that can be imported in DigiWare and so going then on the air, so actually, that we combine.
Yeah, so actually all the daily commercial break can be exported and imported by, of course, our DigiWare software, which is the daily, the scheduler for the music and the 24/7 playlist. But also the same things can be done with other software, like I think we did something with Music Masters selector in the past, Power Gold as well. Some of them, they have also a predefined import format or import selection to import, of course, the commercial break from Ram-Comm.
Good. Now a quick check also again on the various parameters I would like to show you. You can describe accounting entries so that you can then have a good relation, a good import and export with your accounting software if you use, of course, a specific one. We can set agencies, areas, authors, anything. An interesting also marketing point, and that you can describe campaigns. What are campaigns? Campaigns is when you see summer needs a little bit more demand from your clients, and you place an offer, a summer offer. So summer discounts, planning, of course, on air campaigns on your radio stations. So if you set in the order the campaign, then you have a control if your campaign, if your summer offer was successful or not with the clients. This is another marketing tool which is interesting, that shows you how the software can help the business, and particularly the sales and marketing departments. I would like then to share some time with you with the beautiful screen that is the one of the schedule. Because we have talked about orders, but we want to see something about the final output. Here is the schedule. You see, you have very easily to see, you have the hour points, the clusters. We have, of course, the exact time. Then you have, with the green part, you have the duration, which is very simple and immediately to see. And you see then you have the spots, of course, with their duration and with the name.
As far as I remember, with all colors that are configurable,
as I said before,
you can immediately visualize if your commercial break are full,
yes,
or you have still space. If you have conflict, for example, the Coca-Cola and Pepsi on the same break, or if you need to keep them, let's say, far away.
Mm-hmm. And you can also have manual edit very simply. So you see, I'm just making a click and drop here. I'm moving, and Ram-Comm is showing me where there is room to move this spot into another hour. This can be, of course, for several reasons. And you see, it's just a click and drop. So very easy to exchange. This is something so useful and so simple.
We have many customers where there are people at the office in charge of do the data entry, so insert the criteria according to the contract, but then the station manager or the man in charge of the advertisement can easily have a look and adjust the scheduling, let's say, in few clicks. To give you an idea about the, let's say, the improvement of efficiency in the management of advertisement in radio, I just want to give you the example. Probably it's one of our biggest configuration. We have, you know, in Italy we have, let's say, a lot of radio stations, and we have one covering the all Alps area. Let's say this broadcaster is running 5 radio stations, and those 5 radio stations are covering 70 commercial areas. Why? Because every valley on the Alps is like it's a different market. Let's say the valleys are not related commercially. So during advertisement, what happened is that over those 70 areas, at the same time, there are different commercial breaks. So Ram-Comm, basically with these customers, they have 2 people in charge of the scheduling of 70 areas. And nowadays, you know that contracts are not, let's say, very long, so the duration is squeezing. Sometimes you have contracts that are running just for the weekend. And so, to give you an idea of how the efficiency of the management has been improved thanks to Ram-Comm, so 2 people are managing 70 commercial area over 5 radio stations. So this check and easy operation really is a powerful add-on.
I would like to add on this that Enrico was telling you, that we have also a wonderful split optimization tool. What does this mean? That if you have a split for 3 minutes and you have advertising for just 2 or 2 minutes and 10 seconds, then you can have criterias in order to fill the gap. And you can have premium spots being, of course, in a certain priority. You can have then promos or other audio elements to be filled exactly as you want. And together with DigiWare, you can even have songs then in the DJ Pro and in the extended radio suite by AxelTech. So another service of the many ones that Ram-Comm can offer you is split optimization. Don't forget this, because when it is a matter of filling gaps in radio, you know you must be helped, because time is consuming and you can't think any time how to do. You want your best criteria to run for you and to be active.
Not only, I think last year has been also introduced a nice tool, because if the gap between two commercial break or two areas is not that big, Ram-Comm is able to manage a little time stretching, so you don't have to care about, let's say, little gaps at all. So the workflow goes very smooth, and of course it doesn't affect the final audio, so you don't perceive any, modification of the audio.
So you see, Ram-Comm is very, very vast, I would say, from management, accounting, until the very, very specific and detailed on-air transmission. And so this is a world, I would say, the Ram-Comm is a world of competence, of business and scheduling competence for traffic.
So it definitely provide tools for the operator, that is the guy in charge of practically creating the daily schedule, but at the same time giving tools for the managers in order to understand how the business develops and what to do in order to improve it.
Let me show you something on the menu to express how many services are then available for your company and for your use. Media check is something which is essential. Okay, we have placed an order, we have recorded an order, we have the author of the order, everything is okay, but is there the audio spot there, or is it missing? So with media check, you immediately have a quick eye on what's missing. This is something that in radio stations, we normally do at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. in the afternoon, just preceding the on-air start of the order. But we can media check, you can follow this continuously. So you don't need to rush or hurry and call the client last second to find a solution because audio is missing. And then, of course, there is all the part of the invoices, provisional, definitive, bank receipts. Invoicing is where, if you want to use this in your country with Ram-Comm, is extremely powerful because it takes the information of the installments menu that you saw before in the orders. So if you decide that each end of month it's the time to invoice the number of spots that have been aired, you can have this done automatically, and this is very helpful for administration. One nice thing about Ram-Comm is reporting. Reporting is a lot. Sales manager who look at reports, marketing departments who look at reports make more money. This is mathematics. It's not a management assumption. It works this way. The more you study, the more you act after your analysis, the best performance you can achieve. And we have reports for sales, and you can, of course, have all the parameters that you have been described until now work for a specific report, but you can have also reports for the different persons and the different functions in the workflow. So you have specific reports then for accounting, even for an agent. An agent wants to know his commissions. How much will I earn this month? Or which are the clients that I must call because they have not paid yet because I want to have my commissions on that?
Me, I'm from the sales department. I would be very interested in knowing if my agents are selling and gaining new customers or just renewing previous contracts. So, for example, in this area, there are very powerful statistics to understand, let's say, the efficiency and how our sales team is working. So.
Well, very quickly, I have special agreements. Again, we told you about special agreements. We can have reports on how many events we established or how many exchange of services we established. Then invoices, reports on invoices, of course. And I would spend just a few words about Power BI, Power Business Intelligence.
That's a very nice, let's say, improvement. Again, you won't see this in the previous versions. This will be only part of the new version, the new release. And since statistics and reports are never enough, and everybody has its own specific way to sort the data and what item needs to be visualized and which part of, which market, which customers, and we need maybe to do cross analysis of agents and commercial areas and so on. So for those that really needs to dig and go deep inside with the report and customize them, we did a very nice integration with Microsoft Power BI. So it's business intelligence software that allows you to create and generate wonderful graphics, chart, and also have a dynamic view, because with Power BI you can look at one data and at the same time switch to another parameter and see how the two things are related. So that's
Power Business Intelligence is amazing.
I don't know if we have one example here.
I'm afraid.
Because this is a demo database and there's no
one. But
we will charge it for the next session in the afternoon, for sure.
Or in any case, if you're interested into that, please feel free to contact us, and we will be happy to send you information about that. Just a quick look also on the other services, because Ram-Comm is full of services and potential tools for your interest. We have recalculation of the air times, items of duration, clusters, schedule, check, temporary shifts. That's simple, but it happens. You have a program or you have a special program and you must change your clusters. You don't want to change them consistently. You want to change your cluster position just for one day or for 1 week or for 1 month. You can do that here. This is another interesting thing. And after the time has gone, the cluster goes back to the previous and original position in terms of timing. You have then a lot of specific parameters. You can also check the voices of the spots. This is another issue which is very interesting. Not only to separate them, for example, on the schedule, but also for managing their costs if you're producing yourself and paying them. We have a task scheduler, which is very interesting. Maintenance, repair, copy archives, download updates.
Now we go very technical here.
Yes, you have anything you may require.
What else? Ram-Comm can be, as we said, integrated into our complete suite. So we will have in the future, in the next week, additional webinars related to the DJR. So it's the complete scheduling of the radio station that, of course, include Ram-Comm. Ram-Comm can be integrated with our visual radio automation, so you can split advertisement on radio and visual radio. Again, the management of commercial and advertisement is done by Ram-Comm. So with the same team, in the same office, the team is able to manage advertisement for radio, TV, visual radio, and whatever. So don't miss the chance to follow the next webinars that are still related to Ram-Comm. I think there are no other questions.
I would just recommend the guys listening to us, and thank you for that, by the way, to look at the Axel Technology website. You will find a lot of information about our products. You will see that AxelTech, if you don't know this yet, has a lot of tools, both hardware and software, for both radio and TV. So you find hardware, you find software, both for radio and TV on the Axel Technology. You see on the website how many products are served, how many products are offered, and you find also the radio automation area, and you find also the software and the Ram-Comm software that we have described to you today.
So that's all from Axel, from Claudio and Enrico. Thank you so much. See you next time, and thank you for your attention. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.